Do you know what IT project management is? Have you ever heard of it before? Okay. All right. Well, to make it really, really simple, it means exactly what it says. Manage a project from start to end. And so I put a little bit of context here. As a project manager, you will be tasked with coordinating, right? So Maurice went over this Apple Watch that he designed, right? But that's just only one part of a project, right? So there are 5 phases of a project. There is initiation, there is analysis and design, there's development where you code, there's quality assurance, and there's deployment. Technology is a people's business, and you have to get along with people. So the skills that are needed is you need to have exceptional communication skills. When I mean exceptional communication skills, I mean the ability to be able to say something and say it clearly, right? To enunciate your voice and to be very clear. You need to be detailed. You need to be organized, right? And you need to be able to prioritize. So my track is a little bit different. I did not go to school like these 2 gentlemen. They went to school for technology. I wanted to be a variety of things. I changed my major at least 3 times. I wanted to save the world and everything in between, right? But I ended up graduating with a sociology degree. And fast forward, because I was doing an internship in college, I highly recommend internships for your age group, because internship allows you while you're in school to work in a particular area. This internship was a customer service internship. And so sometimes it may tell you what you want to do, or sometimes it may show you what you don't want to do. But I made a good impression with these people, and they gave me a recommendation, and I got hired. So I got hired working with New York City Department of Technology, and that's where my technology experience kind of took off. One of the things that I would recommend is, as a project manager, you're going to be using a tool called Microsoft Project, because you're going to need to be able to track everything. So as a project manager, I have to not necessarily just account for the work I'm doing. I need to be planning what the gentleman over here, Ryan, is going to be doing in terms of all of the particular activities, right? So you need to build an application. Where's the application going to be? It needs to sit on a server, right? And all a server is, you probably hear of it, is just a big word, right? But to make it really simple, it's an environment. It's an environment where a person will use that application. Likewise with Facebook, right? When you're using Facebook, you are using the production area of Facebook, meaning you're using the live area of Facebook. But there's another area of Facebook that they have where they go and actually develop and code, and they actually do the testing, right? So my work as an IT project manager is to be able to plan the associated work that needs to happen at initiation, at planning, at design, and at those particular levels, right? So I wanted to, I was trying to see if I can pull up something, a real life project that I'm currently managing, right? And so one of the things that you see here is I've broken down the project into multiple phases. And we have initiation here, we have requirements gathering, which is something I'll explain. We have development, we have quality assurance. And there's so many of these things that need to get done. And I have to assign each of these tasks, I have to assign it to someone. So as you can see, there's a start date and there's an end date for each particular item. Have you, okay, so how many of you here play basketball? Okay, how many of you here play, I don't know, football? Okay, or some type of sport. Essentially what the project manager is, you are the point guard. Does anyone understand the analogy? Steph Curry, right? Or Kyrie Irving. The project manager really facilitates the tempo and how the flow of activities are going to go. So as Nika alluded to earlier when she was giving her comment, she has to be a person who is going to organize things, and if she sees things slacking off, she's going to be proactive and kind of bring those things together. That's what a PM does, right? I won't belabor the point, but there are different roles that a PM can grow into, right? So you can become an executive director for IT project management. That's also an area that you can go into. You can also go into maybe some possible training. I'm trying to actually connect this back to Maurice. Oh, thank you so much, sir. So you have a lot of different options. As an IT project manager, thank you very much, Maurice. You can scale up. So I started my career doing IT business analysis, which I'll probably get to because someone was supposed to go over the IT business analyst piece, but I started out doing analysis work, and then fast forward to where I am now, to my career. I started out in terms of salary. In my first role, I was like $27,000 when I first started. And so my beginnings were very, very humble. And fast forward, and it went to 55, and then it transitioned, then it went to 70, and I have never looked back. It looks well, right? And so you have a lot of opportunities, especially given what Ryan went over with infrastructure. These careers allow you to be able to scale and make significant amounts of money. But let me not make it so high and pretty. You have to get the work done. You have to put the work in necessary to be able to garner those types of income, right? And so I kind of put this here. Some of the numbers may shuffle a bit, but you're talking about after about 10 years in the industry, or even less than that, you could be making 6 figures. This actually is truthful. This is the virus. So Nika, as I've kind of helped you out already, you are going to now highlight some of the activities. So we're going to talk about initiation, right? So write initiation up there, because that's going to be the first project phase, right? And all we're going to do is we're not going to do a whole lot. We're going to put 3 activities that you think need to happen at the initiation part of the project. So remember, the goal is to build a virus, right? We're going to build a virus that's going to, is going to be a virus that's going to attack a social network. And again, disclaimer, this is only a dummy project. This is not real. So, we don't want to get in trouble, but this is a dummy project. What do you think needs to happen? You have any ideas, Nika? Y'all want to help her? So remember, you want to set up the virus, right? So you need to figure out what you want the virus to do, right? Okay, so maybe you should put brainstorm. So under initiation, maybe put like a star. Brainstorm. And Nika's gonna plan this, and I'm not gonna help her. She's gonna plan it. Y'all gonna have to help her.
So
all
what's
right.
the virus gonna do?
Exactly. And then point 2, what do you think is gonna be the next thing, right? Because we don't have a whole lot of time. What do you think is the second thing we should be doing towards our goal?
Planning setting up like what we should do to like take over this.
Okay, so you know what? So let's put underneath initiation, let's add another bucket, which is going to be planning, but make it a little bit further on down, because we have to have 3 more activities under, grade. Planning. We may not even get through the whole exercise, but that's fine.
Okay, so what do we want the virus to do? When we get into Facebook accounts, what do we want to do with that information? Want to steal some friends, some likes, get rid of likes?
Steal some followers.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to take more followers from your friend and other people?
Okay, so let's write, we want to steal some followers.
Right, so add that as an item. Okay, good. All right, so you know what? So let's add another bucket now. Just add development. Under planning, Nika, we're gonna add development, just so we can expedite the exercise. So the development phase of the actual project, Maurice alluded to this a little bit earlier. What do you think happens at development?
You actually
Say it a little bit louder.
You actually create the virus.
Exactly, right? So you're gonna create the virus. So the development is basically like build. It's almost like construction. That's what you're doing in physical. As a project manager, right? If you're gonna build something, right? You can't roll it out and then it not does what it do, right? Right, Ryan? Right, Maurice? You roll it out and then it doesn't. So you have to be very, very clear. So mobile, do you also want to do desktop as well? So you want people to be able to get it when they're using a mobile device, or do you want it also on a desktop? Desktop is when you use a computer, right? So let's put desktop as well. Desktop. Bossing people around. You're not just telling people what to do. You have a responsibility as well to know what it is you're talking about, right? The last part, there was someone who was supposed to cover this part, which is another portion called IT business analysis. I'll be very brief in this part. All the IT business analyst does is make sure that the components needed to be built are built. So an IT business analyst writes the functional specifications. All you do is write the recipe. That's basically it. So the application, right, the virus in the example that we built, the virus needs to do this. It needs to take friends. We're going to have it go on pop-up. All that needs to happen before the developer even codes anything. You need to have somebody who is going to, like an engineer, who is going to write the recipe of what needs to happen. How long does the virus need to last, right? What code are we going to put it in? So many different of the mechanisms. These things are accounted for. So for example, one of the examples I brought up was the training app that we're currently building. Maurice and I are actually collaborating on that right now. Is you may be building this training application to like manage trainings that you need to go to, right? But you need to write how is it going to function. Do you need to upload certificates into that software? How does that need to work? What files are you going to take? Are you going to make Microsoft Word documents? I'm just being very simple, right? But how are you going to account for these things? All of these things are done by an IT business analyst. You want to underestimate the work, the level of focus that needs to go into it. This is not some cakewalk that you can come in, you got to put some elbow grease in this thing. You know, you really have to pay your dues, so to speak. And so really, IT business analyst is really writing recipes. You need to build a software. You need somebody that's going to write the recipe to build that software. And that's really what it is.